Yes, a big match here that both players know can take them into the final of a big competition. A man who's been there before, finalist 5 years ago, how time flies, and a man who has yet to be beaten here in Wolverhampton in 2012. Now, yes, he suffered a 5-4 defeat at the hands of Christian Kist in his group, but he's won all his other games, including that of match against Christian Kist in the previous round. And Rod, the record, the head-to-head record between these two only points to one result. They've met on 18 previous occasions since Barney came across to the PDC in 2006. Hamilton won their first encounter that he alluded to there,
first leg and qualifier,
but 16 of the other 17 encounters have all gone Barney's way, and one of them in the Premier League was drawn. Gotta mean something, hasn't it?
Well, as an ex-player, John, that's one thing that if I was Hamilton, I wouldn't think about at all. I mean, I don't need to know about that. You know, this is a different day, a different dollar, as they say.
96.
Barney, you know, the way he played last night, you've got to put him the favourite of this. But the way Hammer plays, if he can get in front of Barney, as Wayne alluded to, then he could
60.
hold on to his throw strongly, and it could be a different game. But Barney, for me, I think he's just a little bit too strong. His throw was absolutely brilliant yesterday.
And he's changed the weight of his dart. He's changed
60.
the dart, yes, but it's the same dart that he was throwing, except for a couple of grams in weight. And he feels so good about them. He feels that they're floating in.
45.
And obviously his performances, I think, demonstrate that.
I think sometimes, John, some players change the weight, change the flight, and it really sometimes doesn't make any difference, but it's in their head. If it makes you feel good, it puts you on a high, it makes you more aggressive when you're up there, then it works.
100.
Just the ton for Barney. Hamilton winning the throw. Best of 31, first to 16. Makes his way into the final tonight.
94.
Well, we see Andy Hamilton's throw here. You know, it's a good high arm release compared to Barneveld. Head dead still. That's the one thing, all you budding dart players, keep that head still and let the arm do all the action.
And you require
well, now Hamilton, the pros like this shot. It's a bit like the 116. You're going to get two darts at the treble 20 to perhaps have a dart. Well, he'll go perhaps 12 now. Will he keep away from that? No, he's gone 20. Double 16 to take this first leg.
96.
That would have settled him down. Now Barney,
Raymond,
the 136 and the 156, Barney takes out more than any other shot.
I was just about to say he loves this. I've seen him do it a few times. Need the two treble 20s, but and that's why. And he does like double
60.
18. But
And he requires 60.
chance for Hamilton here then for an early blow to hold his throw. Go man, go. Fraction in. Too far, double 4. Oh, perfectly placed.
Second leg Raymond.
Too early to start reading into people's expressions. We'll start seeing those around about mid-match, I would
85.
suggest, Rod, and starting to read something into them.
Well, the only thing I was worried about from Barney was playing last night. He does get tired very quick. You know, he's a big lad. Well, so both of these up here are big guys. But sometimes Barney, he does get
58.
tired. So coming up here, you know, first in the afternoon session, may affect his concentration a little bit. But it's all about getting them first legs on the board, getting confidence. If you get them first legs, do
95.
well. The tiredness don't affect you. It's only when you're struggling that then you start thinking about it.
Lovely first dart. Got to fancy at least another one. Yes, and maybe the lot. Oh no, he's coming down.
139.
And already this crowd beginning to warm to this occasion. Generous, almost cricket-like applause.
100.
Well, that was a great last dart. I thought it was only 320s. But now Hamilton, what he's got to do, he's got to try and break Barney in the first few legs. Certainly the first session before that advert break.
100.
He needed another treble there just to put some pressure on. Barney's going to get a clear 6 darts from here.
$90.
Well, Hamilton won the ball. And although it's going to be difficult to hold 16 times in succession, effectively if he did that, he'd win the match. End of story.
Raymond require 131.
But if he can break Barney, then it makes it that much easier for him. Treble 13, double 16.
99.
Well, Barney, that
And he requires
was a miss
79.
you couldn't afford, because this is the break of throw that I was talking about seconds ago that is now very much on. 2 darts at double 11. May only need the 1. Does. There's the break of throw. So early in the contest. 2-0 to Hamilton. And with throw, that means Barney to win this match. Long way to go yet, I know. Has got to break Hamilton twice.
Yeah, you're right, John. And now Hamilton, if he can hold his throw here, go 3-0 up, and Barney starts looking at the scoreboard, that could really hurt him, you know, affect the way his mindset is at the moment. And that's where the tiredness will come in earlier than what normally it would do. We will now see if the Barney that played last night is up on this stage today.
100.
At the moment, there's no high scores going in, and that's when you've got to take advantage. And certainly at the moment, Hamilton is doing that. The bookies had Barney the clear favourite here, but Hamilton, he's a street fighter. He won't give up anything.
140.
Tidy start by Hamilton.
60.
Tempted to say an untidy one by Barney, by his standards. Yeah, gotta say, they're raising experience here. Cherokee's firing the arrows.
100.
Well, the average is there. Say it all. Hamilton 2-0 up. We're just over the 100 average, and Barney has got to start.
57.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a nod there, but there's a long way to go. Barney knows that. He should be experienced enough to go, I'm just going to play my way into this. The short format, you've got to make it happen. This long format, you can just let it happen to a certain point, and then you've got to really start going.
58.
Well, I know they were set play circumstances rather than match play, but Barney, I remember coming back against Phil Taylor in Las Vegas
83.
on his debut there in the semi-final, from 2 sets to 0 down to make his way into the final. And then, of course, famously in the World Championship a few months later, he trebled 9, means double 18. Oh, it's right on song, you know, Rob. But just to say, just to finish off, Barney came from 3 sets down against Taylor, of course, in 2007, famously, to become world champion. And surely that has to still be effective on his mind.
Well, certainly, if I was Barney, I'd be watching all the great games that I've played, and I'd watch them once a week.
Yeah.
You know, to get yourself the confidence and to prove to yourself that you was a great player and still
100.
are a great player. But at the moment, Hamilton starting to stamp some authority on this game. The last 2 legs, clean kill, 79-63. You know, and they're the areas we love to watch. The 170s as Michael Van Gerwen did yesterday on 2 occasions. But those 79s, the 86s, the 63s, they're the crucial.
$96.
Yes, there come a point where Hamilton might grind Van Barneveld down. What Barney needs is one really good leg. 11, 12 or 13 darter to set him on his way. And certainly could do with winning a leg against the throw even before the break here, which means the next one.
93.
Well, what Barney's got to do, you know, there's 5 legs in between each commercial break. Just play them as a best of 5 game, literally separate it from the match. But it looks like he's going to, well, he set it up perfect to get this first leg on the board, and it's a must. And then he breaks Hamilton when he, you know, just before the commercial break, and he's back in this game. It's just, it sounds simple, but it is that simple.
It is, yes. If he can hold his throw here with double 12 and a 13 darter, and then break, it'll be as it would have been if every dart had gone with throw. Barney is on his way. A 13 darter tells all. He is not too perturbed at this moment, but how he could do with this one nonetheless. But it's lockout time from the hammer. Hit the 140. Opponent really has to throw exceptionally well now.
Well, Barney's got to look for a 12 darter, John. There's no question about that. You know, with Hamilton kicking off with that 140, you kind of feel that, you know, a straight ton Hamilton will absolutely take every day of the week. And with that dart the way it is, he should be hitting the treble. Well, there's a mistake. Oh, 22. Now then. It was a perfect guide on the first dart, so Barney, this is where the big Dutchman needs a 140 himself, and that's a perfect dart to fill it up. Plenty of room there for the third.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant, Barney. Andy Hamilton scores a meagre 22. 2 little ducks for Hamilton, full house for Barney. And suddenly we start thinking in terms of the break back.
Well, that's a perfect situation. Your opponent hits a bad score, you absolutely pound him with the biggest score possible. And that is where the experience, and he's come down to the 25, he's hit the bullseye. You know, he's going to get at least a dart at the bullseye when he returns. Hamilton, anything short of a 140 is not going to be enough, methinks.
Yeah, the 140 start from Hamilton was just what he wanted, but the follow-up shots are not. And now Barney, you mentioned he needs a 12 darter. Well, he could do it in 11. Now treble 14 will leave double 16. He'll set it up nicely for another 13 darter. Hit one a few moments ago. Tops will give him another one, providing he hits it straight away. But he won't mind hitting it with first, second or third dart rod. He'll be going into the break only one leg down.
Yeah, you're exactly right there. We tend to say just hit the double on the visit, but he'd like to see it go in first dart. Well, it's not a bad guide. Come to the left, and he does exactly that. Raymond Barneveld, 3-0 down. He gets it back to 3 legs to 2. He's back in this game. There's plenty of darts to be played yet. We'll be right back.